ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। Yam says to Master, "No, sir, you have said to us that a man cannot realize God if he possesses even one of the 8 occult powers." So many occult powers are there. You can mesmerize people even without anything. People mesmerize. Just to take a person and tell, "I'm going to give you a mantra," and take him inside, make him sit, and just an ordinary person can do it. He will tell, "I'm going to utter a mantra." He touches the head. Immediately he feels so many things. Whole thing is psychological. The person who is trying to give is an ordinary man who doesn't know anything. Still, that it is like a ceremony where the mind is made into an instrument, which mind has unique capacity. You can see how it creates a dream world when you are asleep. Mind itself becomes a dream world. Except mind, nothing is there in the dream. What all you see, pictures, this, that, people, animals, plants, everything is just mind. How mind has created, including the person. Suppose my dream has created me also, exactly resembling in every respect the way in which I behave. Everything is projected there already. And I see the dream world. I identify with that body because it is zero error identity. And how it happens, you see. Mind has that unique capacity to create anything out of itself in itself. This is Maya. So any person making you sit and telling something, pretending to be a spiritualist also, a psychologist, can do mesmeric things. Even anything, you can make the mind work in a particular style. How much of this psychology and psychiatry has developed to bring back the people from the false nature they have acquired. You can see how they acquire and how they give up and come to normalcy. Just by treatments. Like that, suppose real occult powers are there, how powerful they could be. But they are all diversions from the main path to realize God. How long will it remain? Even I see fine musicians, experts who can really play and sing. But a day comes when they are no more able to sing. They are not able to play the instrument which they were playing. They cannot lift. Everything is limitation. And if anything happens to this body, it becomes totally useless. Nothing of no use at all. So, before anything happens to the body, before we lose our strength, before old age enters into our system, we have to cross over the Maya and know the reality. Before the body falls off, yes, my purpose is done. The human body was given to transcend the nature and reach the eternal life. I have finished the task. That much of clarity, that much of realization The enlightenment we must get. Whole of Sri Ramakrishna's efforts, talking all this, and Bhagavad Gita, you can see from beginning, first chapter is Arjuna's. Rest of the things is Krishna's. Just to remove his doubts and clear all things, remove the samskaras that are present in him, and to give that Vishwarupa Darshana. Even after that, so many chapters run to make more and more clear, more and more clear. It is not, if it is only for Arjuna, so much of big things are not necessary. It is for the world. He was only an occasion, nimitta. So we must understand why Sri Ramakrishna is telling all this is to make us enlightened souls. And we must put proper effort in that direction. Even if one occult power is there, we cannot realize God. Master, you are right. Only the small-minded seek them. If one asks something of a rich man, one no longer receives any favor from him. The rich man does not allow such a person to ride in the same carriage with him. Even if it does not allow the man to sit near him. Therefore, love without any selfish motive is best. God with form and the formless God are both equally true. The whole thing is Master is telling. Master, I will go back to the beginning of the paragraph. Right you are, only the small-minded seek them, means occult powers. If one asks something of a rich man, one no longer receives any favor from him. Just asking. Each time he sees that face, he thinks he has come to ask something. Suppose an emergency is there. In those days, money in my early school days and college days, money was not so popular and people did not have money. Wealth was there, like land and plenty of food to eat and all. These things are there. Richness is not counted in terms of money in those days. And to get a rupee is very difficult. Even we go for begging and all, they will give a morsel of food, ready food, or a little rice or something. Money giving was not very common, or did not. And anybody asked for money. An occasion came, I had just then started going to ashram. It was in early 70s. And one boy was playing volleyball in nearby ground. He fell and broke his arm. Somebody came running and asked a man, I want 1 rupee. He said, what for? A boy has fallen and he has broken his arm. I want to ring up to their family. Mobile, cell phone and all were not there. That person was reluctant to give. He's having a car, he's having wealth. He said, 1 rupee. After so much of thinking, then he went 3 times inside, his wife and this and that, to give 1 rupee. And then he brought and gave, and he was watching him what he will do. And no houses would allow anybody to come and use the telephone. Very rarely telephones used to be there in houses, but they would not allow. Because if you allow once, so many people will be, all people around will be coming. And each time this boy, these children playing in the playground and all, used to move about, he would escape from, as if they are going to ask for money. How they means it is not that they don't have money. Plenty of things are there, and sufficient and more God has given. But to give that 1 rupee, how I used to think, oh, these are rich people. Their richness is only for display and their own selfish ends. So like that, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, their money is precious, and ask anything, he will not, again, he will not look at them, that person, nor entertain him. Just because once he has, because of emergency, some condition he has asked, still that one label they put, oh, he is going to ask something. Ride in the same way, you will not allow him to say ride in the same way. Even if he allows, because so many people will be riding in the vehicle. And by chance, that vehicle, suppose hired vehicle, one person is going, the driver asks anybody else you want to come. The shared vehicle it will be. He says, no, we will go. I will give you the money, you go, I don't want to take anybody. And by chance he allows, he will not allow him to sit by his side. Therefore, love without any selfish motive is best. No selfish motive. Love for love's sake. God with form and the formless God are both equally true. This is again and again we have to re-insist our own minds and make the people understand, so that it will be religious and spiritual harmony at all times, because that is a place where all differences dissolve. And second thing is, if you say God is only with form, we have put a limitation on him. The rest of the universe, everything becomes meaningless. If you say God is only with form and is formless, again he's putting a God in a framework. It is limited. It cannot be anything limited, cannot be God. God can be anything, and anytime he can manifest in any form. Is limitless. The basic definition of God in Hinduism is Ananta, endless. There if anything exists apart from God, God is short by that. How it Purnatva won't be there. Lot of differences come about. Philosophically also we cannot prove that God is this alone and not that. One cannot keep one's mind on the formless God a long time. That's why God assumes form for his devotees. Captain makes a nice remark in this connection. Sri Ramakrishna is continuing. He says that when a bird gets tired of soaring very high, it perches on a tree and rests. First is the formless God, and then comes the God with form. I shall have to go to your house once. I saw in a vision that the houses of Adhar, Balram, and Surendra were so many places for our foregathering. But it makes no difference to me whether they come here or not. That is right. Why should it be so? One must feel misery if one feels happiness. But you are beyond both. M is supporting the. If you accept one, you have to accept other one also. If you accept joy, you must accept the sorrow. You must, if you accept the praises, you must accept the blames also, insult also. So if you accept one, you have to accept the other. If you accept the God with form, you have to accept the God without form also. Master. Yes, further, I think of the magician and the magic. The magician alone is real. His magic is illusory, like a dream. I realized this when I heard the Chandi recited. Shumba and Nishumba were scarcely born when I learned that they both were dead. How the fast time passing. The magic and magician. I will go back. Master. Yes, further I think of the magician and the magic. The magician alone is real. Magic is illusory like a dream. I realized this when I heard the Chandi recited. Shumba and Nishumba, the two demons whom Divine Mother kills. Shumba and Nishumba were scarcely born when I learned that they both were dead. You go on hearing, they are born and something happens, even our own lives you see. Very often I will be recollecting how the time passes in life. We are born, childhood we grow a little, childhood is gone, youth comes. By the time youth is complete, we will be finishing our studies around 24. Whole of Balya and early part of Yavana is gone. Another 12 years, prime of youth. What time we have spent in studies, same amount of time, old ages, on onset. 25 years we spent, 1/4 of our lives we spent in studies. Without earning, without giving any to the world. Same amount if you spend in earning, gone, life is gone. He is 50, ready for retirement. So how the life, by the time you look here, there, life is gone. By the time children grow and settle down, our end is nearing. So this is so fast the life goes. M. Yes, sir. Once I was going to Kalna, the Gangadhar in a steamer with Gangadhar in a steamer. A country boat struck our ship and sank with 20 or 25 passengers. They all disappeared in water like foam churned up by the steamer. Steamer is a big ship, little smaller than the ship. It is something between boat and the ship. Steamers, they go in small rivers also. Ganga, there are many steamers which can take load also for carrying luggage and all things. Many, something like logistics, they transfer materials, the steamer. And the country boat was going, it hit, and with 25 people, whole thing was sunk. In a moment, all were. May I ask you one thing? Does a man watching magic really feel compassion when he sees suffering in the performance? Does he feel at that time any sense of responsibility? One thinks of compassion only when one feels the responsibility. Is not that so, Master? A jnani sees everything once, God, Maya and universe and all living being. The M is asking Sri Ramakrishna, may I ask you one thing? Does a man watching a magic really feel compassion when he sees suffering in the performance? He knows he has come to the for magic. In magic he sees a person is thrown above and a sword somebody is holding and sword pierces and then he falls down. And in no moment he again comes from the amidst the and he disappears. And again we see him coming from the amidst the audience. He is coming and again climbing this stage. Now when he fell down, a sword pierced his chest and he was torn into pieces. What happened? How do you feel? Do you really feel compassion like that? He is asking. Because he has known that is a magic and come for magic, yet can he bear it? Suffering in performance, does he feel at that time any sense of responsibility? I must go and help. One thinks of compassion only when one feels a responsibility. Now, anything happened to the neighbor's child, has fallen, humanitarian ground, I may go and help. But if my son, my child falls, I have responsibility and then I have to take immediately care. I start weeping, this, that and all, carrying the child. And you see the difference. I am responsible for my children. So I have compassion. When the awareness of I and my family extends beyond limits, beyond my own family, then only I feel compassion for others. Otherwise, I may go and help, but weeping and wailing, no, wars are going on. Hundreds of people die every day, torn into pieces. Some people will be there for the rest of their life in the hospitals. Have lost some hand, some eye, this, that and all. Whole life suffering. Suppose a backbone is broken. We understand, we feel, generally we feel and tolerate and doesn't bother so much. Suppose it was my own relative or my own intimate or a family person, how would I would have been, how tense and how I would have struggled. Who will look after him the rest of life in the bed? So all that, when I start feeling for others, I am expanding. I am really understanding what is spirituality. Spirituality is expansion of heart. From family, from country, to the whole world, and then to the whole universe. Expansion. Expansion of awareness. I am aware of only my family, my duties, my earnings. Can I go beyond and understand and know? There comes into picture the efforts, how we expand. There comes into picture the spirituality. Your spiritually growing is the proof that you are expanding. Your heart is expanding. Your awareness is expanding. You are constantly aware of all other people enjoying and suffering. Dukkha, daridrya, all these. You may see many saints. They keep quiet with the heart boiling. He doesn't have anything, he's free from all entire nature, he's enlightened. But looking at the world suffering, he knows it is unreal. Still, he feels, because nothing is there. If there is a cause itself is false. Still he weeps. I am body is so much false. Every day nature separates you from it. My child is so much false. It is nature's. My land, my problem, I, mine, and for me, just because of the identification with the body. The moment the identification with the body goes, nobody is nobody's. You see, the moment you sleep, the mother who says, I cannot live without this child, forgets that child. There's no connection, no awareness of existence. That is the end. So, who is whose will be known. Nobody belongs to anybody. Will be known when we sleep. Just to sleep. Need not be enlightened or anything. Every day when we sleep, where is your son? He is not there. He is not there, is also not there. So much of ignorance is dipped in. So, what to hold on in that state? One thinks of compassion only when one feels responsibility. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.